was like, am I going insane?
Okay, so this is a review of integers. We have already started because I almost forgot to record a lesson. So my 7th grade is here. We've already gotten down to the rule number 2 as far as integers go. If you want to see that better, you can pause it or just go on a loop-de-loop through this. When adding integers with different signs, for example, when you have a positive plus a negative or a negative plus a positive, the layout's a little weird here, but what you're going to do is you're going to subtract the digits and keep the sign of the larger digit. So in other words, as I've taught my students in the past, the one with the higher absolute value, that's going to indicate whether it's going to be on the left of the 0 on the number line or on the right of the 0 of the number line. Or in other words, whether it's going to be positive or negative. And by digit, we mean the integers without their positive or negative sign. For example, we have 23 plus a negative 18. Now, which one has a higher absolute value, 23 or negative 18? Jace? 23 has a higher absolute value. And is 23 negative or positive? It's positive, so your answer is going to be positive. So we have 23 plus negative 18 is 5. Now, if we're dealing with number lines, we have the number 23. Now, this is just a small example. But we have the number 23. And the number 23 is going to be down this direction. So we have 23. And when we're adding something, we're going to be adding a negative, was it 18? Where am I? Yeah, a negative 18. So that means we are on the number line at number 23. And that means that when it's adding a negative, so we're adding something that's negative, what's going to happen is, well, it's not that program. It's positive 23. Darn. 23. So we're going to be going this way 18 times. So it'd be 18 times toward the number 0. That's what it is when we have a minus or a negative sign. That means it's going to be going further to the left on a number line. So our number line, whenever you see a minus sign, you know it's going to be going toward the left. Whenever you see a positive sign, plus with positive number, that means it's going to be going further that direction. So to the right. Right? Ooh. Right. Okay? Right. The R kind of messed up. But it's going to the right whenever you're adding a positive. Okay, does that make sense? Anybody have questions on that? Okay, back to it. So then we have negative 23 plus 18. Ooh. Negative 23 plus 18. So we have a number line here. So we have a negative 23. Okay, we'll go a couple here. That'll be 0, and so on. So we have a negative 23, and we're adding a positive 18. So does that mean that we're going to be going to the right, or does it mean we're going to be going to the left? We're going to the right because it's a positive number. So we're going to be going this way 18 times, and we end up at negative 5 because 23 has a higher absolute value than 18. So we know that it's going to be negative. Okay, you with me? Yeah. Okay, everybody, please sit up. Let your necks do their job. Do not hold up your head with your arm, bicep, wrist, or foot. Okay. You are very flexible.
Are you recording?
Yes. No, I wasn't using that program because I was in Google Chrome, and I was using the one that comes along with it that goes over here. The EnoStrip. Independent examples. I'm going to give you 1 minute to do these 4 questions on your own, and then we're going to come back and we're going to see how we did. So 1 minute, you may begin. Okay, 1 minute, because I think if I mute the microphone, my brain's like, hey, it's not going to capture what I'm doing. All right, so here's what we got. We got 18 plus negative 5. So right off the bat, Cam, is that going to be positive or negative? What? Hey, it's okay. It's okay. See, that's all right. Are you okay? They kind of jumped on you there. No. For number 1, this one here, 18 plus negative 5. Is that going to be a positive sum or a negative sum? Positive. It's going to be a positive sum because 18 is bigger than 5. And what is the correct answer, Cam? 13 is correct. It's on freeze. There we go. No, nope, I turned the mic back on. 13. Good. Okay. Owen, what you got? What you got for number 3? 2. Sorry, 2. 15, and it's positive. That is correct. How about number 3? Wow, forgot your first name for a second. Charlie. Negative 1. I'm going to disagree with you on that. Okay, we have negative 1, and here's why. Here's why. Here we have a number line. Okay. I'm going to do... okay. Well, forget these numbers here. If we are starting at a negative 12, okay, we're starting at a negative 12, and we're adding a negative, which means that we're going to be going more. So we're starting here near. We're starting, let's say this is negative 12. We are adding a negative, which means we're stepping more back that way. Okay, so with the adding of the negative, so we're already at a negative, we're adding more negatives, which puts us further to the left on the number line. So it's not negative 12. What is the correct answer? There you go. Yeah, negative 23. Negative 23. Now this one has 3 integers. Ah! What do we do? I ain't gonna try. It's like that three gave me trouble. Okay. What you got? Pick up your head, Sam. What you got?
I did 3 plus negative 11, which equals negative 8. And then I did negative 8 plus negative 5, and got negative 3.
You are correct. Oh, that was close. Yeah, a couple people made that simple mistake. So yeah, there was 2 parts of it. You did this one, and then you do the second part. Good. Yes, ma'am.
Isn't 2 positive equal negative? 2 negatives equal positive?
That's multiplication division. We won't get to that for at least another 6 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Let's see how close I am on that guess. All right. So, any questions on addition of integers? Okay. Subtraction of integers. Dun dun dun. This is the part that a lot of people get messed up on. The first step to change a subtraction problem into an addition problem, and change the second integer into its opposite. For example, see them below. I want you to do our magical. I need to look at this sometime soon. Do 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 do. I want you to put your box around it because that way you know that you need to memorize it. It's like, I need to memorize this. Yeah. Can you fill in some of those answers, please? And if you're sitting next to someone who's outside, can you please write the answers to the things we have and also box in something? So as you're finishing your highlight, so you know what to study for Friday's quiz, by the way. Quiz Friday on the things we're starting tomorrow. Oh, if they're outside, if somebody could take their stuff and yeah, Harrison's got that one. Okay, independent examples. I'm going to give you 1 minute and 30 seconds to do a couple of these. So if you can get all 4 done, that's great. But if not, that's all right. So go ahead and start this. 1 minute and 30 seconds. You may begin. So you guys remember that I called it the additive inverse. That's what it was when we had it last time. So we're done with these guys. Independent examples. Now, can someone please tell me how you set it up? Then someone else is going to tell me what the answer is. So, Mulville, what do you have for setting it up? How do I set this up using the additive inverse?
You change the subtraction problem and addition problem.
Okay, and what's it going to look like? 9 plus negative 9 plus, no, because you're only changing one of these two things that we just highlighted. You're doing this, but you're not doing this, or the second step. But you're not doing the second step. Get out of there. Thank you. Just go ahead and set it right on my gradebook, please. So what should I do in this situation? That's a common error that people do. You can't just flip one of the signs. Okay, Dominique?
You changed the product of
Yes. There you go. Now we're in business. Now we have an addition problem. We start at negative 9 on the number line. So here's a number line. Here's 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're starting at negative 9. Now we are adding a negative 5. So we're going to be going that way for 5 more spots. And the correct answer is what, Raven? Negative 14, you are correct. Yep. Negative 4, no. Yes? Shh. Oops. Got it? Okay. How about number 2? Cam? Nope. Even with this, even with it just looking like that, with that number line, when we're starting at negative 9, we're going to be going tick, 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 tick 5 to the left because it's subtraction. And do you agree that when you subtract something, you're making it less? Okay. Oh, did someone say 4 when I was doing that?
Whoa, it was negative 4?
You said.
Oh, see?
Yeah, it was
I
like
just got the negative 5.
Yep.
And I have negative 4.
Okay, next one. Number 2. How did we set this one up? Blake? Yep. Beautiful. 3 plus negative 18. And now we can see which one of those has a higher absolute value, so we know that the answer, or the sum, is going to be negative. And what'd you get there, Ms. Clark?
15.
There you go, negative 15. Negative 15, yeah. Yeah. Okay, Luke, how'd you set up number 4? 3?
Negative 5 plus positive 14.
Negative 5 plus 14, exactly. Now here's that situation where you have a huh and a huh, and it goes huh.
Oh, your dance don't
My silly dance move, that's right. Yeah,
make you do it.
okay. Yeah,
You should just like make up dances.
Wait, I forgot. Like on the news.
yeah.
Like remember the news? I forgot what the dance was. No.
It was just negative times, or negative, that was times, but this is negative minus negatives, so like plus, positive. That was bad. I can't really move wearing a tie, though. All right, how about this one? Jake, what do we got there?
You didn't finish it.
Yeah, you never finished it.
Oh, well, sorry. 9. No. The correct answer is 9. And there's a lot of moaning and groaning about that. Does anybody? I hear a lot of people got that one wrong. Does anybody not see why it was wrong?
No.
Okay. So back to you, Jake. What do we got?
-24 or -7 and then change the -2 to plus and then -5.
So what is the answer?
-32.
Negative 32 is correct.
Oh, man, I got points. I'll say no. Oh, yeah.
All right. So here we go. Now, multiplication and division on. When I said in about 6 minutes, it came out to be 6 minutes and 47 seconds later. Multiplication and division. Multiplication and division share the same rules. They are, however, completely different than the rules for addition and subtraction. Don't confuse the two. For example, multiplying a positive integer times a positive integer equals a positive. Okay, and you can go through and translate all those the same way that I did if that will help you. Especially because in your paper, I think that this is like a really like thin, light gray. Okay, negative times a negative equals a positive. This is that dance move again right here. And it kind of looks like Hello Kitty. I don't know, I changed it, okay? All right.
Don't do it. She's doing it.
Negative times a negative is a positive. Yeah. Positive times a negative equals a negative. Then with division, positive, same situation, divided by a positive equals a positive. And then it just goes through there. So translate those if you need to. Huh? If you'd like to, if you don't know it. Now, here is the major concept of this whole section there. With division and multiplication, if you have an odd number of negative integers, okay, if you have an odd number of negative integers, what is the sign of the product or quotient going to be? Look at the examples that you just drew.
Yeah.
If you have an odd number of negative integers, is it going to be positive or negative quotient or product? Yeah. Negative. So if you had, for example, -1 times -1, that equals what? 1. It means 1. Okay, it is just 1. It's a positive number. But if you have -1 times -1 times -1, what does that come out to be? It's -1, exactly, because we have 3 of them here. 1, 2, 3. See the odd number? That's an easy way to know if you're going to be having, because there's going to be some on your homework. That's an easy way to remember, because there's going to be ones on your homework that are like that.
Hey, I was wrong there.
You'll have more examples.
Monster.
I am a monster. Erasing stuff that is so beautiful. Next part. My layout is a little bit different. I changed your guys's because I had to. I don't know why I did that during second period. Yeah. So, because I wanted to write it on there. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the next 2 minutes. You're going to do 4 through, let's do 5 through 10. 5 through 10. You're going to take the next 3 minutes to try to do 5 through 10. So you're going to start at 5. So you're going to take the next 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes to do that. 3 minutes. Go ahead, 3 minutes.
Should we write Smith on
The others?
Sure, yes, you may. Yep, good thinking. Good thinking. 3.5 minutes, or 3 minutes. All right. Number 5, well, I'll say this real quick. For these guys, this is a negative times a negative, which means it's going to be a positive 48. This one here is a negative times a negative, which makes it a positive 72. This one here is a negative times, or divided by, a positive divided by a negative, which makes this be a negative 4.
Oh, come on. I'm always so close.
Okay.
We weren't supposed to do those things.
Next one, number 6. Shh, quiet please.
But is that number 5? That was number 4.
That was number 5. It's in a different spot than yours. It's in a different spot than yours. I need a little bit more room for my writing. Next one, we have negative 52 and a negative 4, which is going to be a positive because it's a negative, or divided by negative. Comes out to be positive. Okay? Which is going to be what? What is, somebody raise your hand? Yes, Max. 13. Then we have a negative 63 divided by negative 7. And I know my math facts, so I know that's what? Negative 9. 56 is 9. The way that I used to remember as a kid that 7 times 8 is 56 because it's 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's really
I
smart.
think
I never did that.
What about 9 times 10?
Okay, that's just the way that I always remember that. And I always liked that number for some reason, I guess. All right, then the next one we have is negative 45 divided by negative 15. Two negative numbers create a positive quotient, and that's just going to be a positive 3.
Yay. I like
Now, for number, we got a good one. For number 9, the only thing that you need to really look at here is to see if this is a positive or a negative number. If the exponent Yeah, sorry. For a positive or negative number, you need to see if that is going to be a even or odd number. Is 93 even or odd? If any number n, or if n is a negative number and the exponent is odd, what do we know about odd exponents for a negative number? Yes, it's going to be negative. You are correct. It's going to be negative, and I just explained why for the y.
So then,
Okay. Next one is, yeah. I'm just going to talk about this for a little bit. We don't have time to do it. But for an answer where n, or negative n is, so negative n, is it always going to be positive regardless of what n is? And remember, a variable n can be anything. Negative n, is it always going to be positive? Raise your hand if you think so. Okay, only one person all day has raised their hand there. Ah, two, good. Part B, do you think that negative n is always going to be negative? Raise your hand. Okay? Okay, about a third of the class. How about C, 9F information? Okay, 2/3 of the class. Here's why the people who raise your hand third are correct. Because n can be any number. N can be any number, so that means that n can be -1. Let's do 2. N can be -2, and if that were the case, that becomes 2. So we know that it's not always negative. But also, n can be positive, which becomes -2, which gets rid of that, and by the process of elimination, there's not enough information. Okay? And like, subscribe, I don't care. Okay, that's why we don't do this, because you're shouting out. That's why I haven't done that. You can say goodbye.
Goodbye.
One more time?
Goodbye.
Okay, say it. Don't shout it.
Okay, goodbye.
There we go.